quiz. What's the worst Pixar movie? That's easy. Cars 2. Nope! The Good Dinosaur. Well, you said Pixar movie. I've never even heard of... Oh. Yeah.
Because that's how you get ants!
Pixar seemed to knock it out of the park with every film. Nothing seemed able to stop them. From exploiting the plastic look of computer animation, they were able to make a charming story about toys that come to life. For Monsters, Inc., they created a way to realistically portray a pink and blue fur-covered monster. In Finding Nemo, they seemed to perfect an underwater atmosphere. Even the corkscrew curls of Merida from Brave was a technological achievement. Then came The Good Dinosaur. It was one of the original ideas that the Pixar founders pitched when they were forming the company. It depicts a world where dinosaurs never went extinct, and the teaser trailer promised all of the adorable Pixar tongue-in-cheek charm. Critics liked it, audiences thought it was okay. Ultimately, though, Disney lost $85 million on the film. Now we know what Disney lost, let's see if we can find anything nice to say about The Good Dinosaur. The movie starts out with the scene of the asteroid missing the planet. We're then treated to some establishing shots of the world these dinosaurs inhabit. Pixar has created an almost photorealistic world at this point, and this will be one of the most stunning things about The Good Dinosaur. As you've probably noticed, Pixar movies are accompanied by shorts. Usually these shorts seem to be a test animation for something that will be in another one of their movies. This shows where a lot of that work has been leading. If you watch this movie for anything, it will be for the impressive scenery. We follow the story of a family of apatosaurs on their family farm. Arlo, the youngest, is afraid of everything. His only chore is to feed the chickens. These chickens chase him relentlessly. While his brother and sister earn their marks on the family silo, Arlo can't seem to do anything big enough to get there. His dad tasks him with the job of killing the critter that's stealing corn. The critter is a young human. Arlo lets him go. Papa takes Arlo with him to chase down the critter and finish the job. In the mountains, Papa falls into the water during a flash flood caused by a storm and is swept away in a tragic moment we haven't seen the likes of since Mufasa fell to the stampede. Without Papa there to help, they're having trouble trying to make up the harvest. Arlo tries to pitch in to pick up the slack. He discovers the critter back in the silo. While chasing it down, Arlo is swept into the river and deep into the mountains, lost and far from home. The critter comes back to help Arlo survive, leaving him berries and leading him to food. He also protects Arlo from some of the more aggressive beasts in nature. Someone tries to claim him and Arlo comes up with a name, Spot. It basically turns into a boy and his dog at that point. Using some sticks, the two convey to each other what they have lost. Spot doesn't have a family anymore. It's a sweet way to show them bonding. As Arlo searches for a way home, they encounter some scavenging pterodactyls that try to steal Spot to eat him. They are saved by a brother and sister T-Rex and their father, Butch, voiced by Sam Elliott. The T-Rexes are ranchers to fit the theme of roles of carnivore and herbivore in this society. Their herd has been rustled by velociraptors. Arlo gets Spot to track them down, and the Rexes convince Arlo to be the bait to draw out the raptors. He does. A fight ensues. Butch gets dogpiled, and Arlo has to have a moment of bravery to save Butch from getting overpowered. Later, they're telling more stories by the fire. Butch tells a story about how an alligator bit him in the face.
Ain't no way I wasn't at supper, except for one thing. I wasn't ready for dying that day.
Arlo says he would be too scared. Butch tells him that it's not about not being scared. If you aren't scared when there's an alligator on your face, then you're not alive. The way the T-Rexes run is really interesting, incorporating their bipedal motion with the tiny arms. You get a great shot of the longhorns running through the field with their wards as the sun sets. As they continue on their way, Arlo and Spot come across another human. As Spot is about to go greet the human, Arlo pulls him back. The pterodactyls catch up with them, they grab Spot. Arlo has to face his greatest fear, the overflowing river, to save him. As they travel the last bit home, the other human is hot on their heels. Arlo realizes that the best place for Spot is with the other humans. They part ways. Arlo makes it home, he reunites with his family and puts his mark on the silo. And that's it. That's the movie. There are touching moments. They do a great job building the relationship between Arlo and Spot. It's cute, charming, and touching at the same time. Arlo has to get over the idea that Spot is responsible for his father's death. There's a funny scene where Spot is trying to bring Arlo food. With every new meal that Arlo spurns, Spot gets more frustrated. Most of the other mammals in the movie are cute and big-eyed and adorable. The Good Dinosaur leans heavily on the tradition and tropes of westerns. The animators claimed they wanted nature to be the main antagonist of the film, and it clearly is. Arlo is constantly falling, slipping, sliding, getting knocked over the head. Despite the fact that he is a dinosaur, he can't just conquer his surroundings by sheer size. It helps establish that feeling of a western. The land is untamed and treacherous. Arlo is young. Even though Spot is a child, he seems pretty fearless. He's so much smaller and weaker than Arlo that he ends up inspiring the dinosaur to make more risks, to be braver. The Good Dinosaur is a simple story told quickly and efficiently. So what went wrong with The Good Dinosaur? It lacks the Pixar charm. It's just not quite as funny or charming. The T-Rexes are great, but they don't have a very big part. The backgrounds are a work of art. The movie is an hour and a half long and ends pretty abruptly. Production was plagued by shifting directors, and the movie spent a long time in development. Maybe too long. The same year, Pixar released Inside Out, and while it might not be the same level of artistry, it had more of that Pixar uniqueness. It was the 7th highest grossing movie of 2015. I think it's safe to say that it overshadowed The Good Dinosaur. Pixar has always tried to answer the what-if questions. What if the asteroid missed Earth? What if monsters really came out of your closet? What if a rat had the palate and passion of a chef? The Good Dinosaur is a cute little film that has many impressive qualities, but just doesn't stand up to the Pixar quality and was overshadowed by the same year counterpart. It lacks some of the humor and uniqueness that has been attributed to Pixar movies. It's worth taking a look at for the setting alone. That's all for this episode of Anything Nice to Say. Tune in next time and never be ashamed to like what you like. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you have a suggestion for a movie about which you would like us to find anything nice to say, be sure to drop it in the comments. Check us out on Patreon for exclusives and early access, check out our merch store, and head on over to Amazon to grab my book, Live Like Legends.